So it's more about learning mind science than pointing fingers, rather, because people are obviously occupied with a type, and it is a type, and they're the ones mostly who will say, how dare you type me, put me into a type. And that is the very type that they are. It's incredible how the universe does slaughter the toxic people. And these toxic people are just down to their mentality. Their mentality keeps everything in suspension. As in, like, keeps everything in this inertia, this pain, suffering. They always grumble, they're always moaning. They're always, like, moaning about something because they cannot find anything in them. That's what it boils down to. They cannot find any light in them to do anything else. So, what's dangerous about these people, it's alright kind of when you're younger, but when you get, say, past a certain age, and say you've had children and you've kind of done it, now you're that person there with that mindset is dangerous because they just do not give a shit about anyone else, really. They will. It's not a case of pretense because they handle. It's no friends to them. They are the handler in their mind. They're narcissistic, psychopathic, controlling mind. They are the handler of everyone around them, no matter who they are. So when you get this type of person in a corner, they fucking start freaking out. And when I say mean in a corner, I just mean with like actions and stuff that they've done, said, from the pettiest to the most extreme. Actions taken against someone else, another person, for some reason. And when you have a look at this reason why, which was obviously very much neglected, if not even spoken about, I can understand why people around this person, this main person I'm on about, because this person, I don't know why I'm not naming him because it's going to go out anyway. But I'm just trying my best just to show that I'm not that ballsy with it all. You know what I mean? And I do care about things. But everything that I see, what I was collecting over the past 3 years, no one realised this. You know, when I went on David Icke School Community, as fucking petty as it may sound, and they took it off, didn't it go through anyone's head? You know, when you're all mulling it around that table there, so what should we do to sign? Yeah, should we pull his dreads off? Yeah, and did that. Didn't it even come into your mind that this is being watched? Did it? Because it should have. And that's where right and wrong is. Because that was a wrong decision in thinking that it wasn't being watched. And I'm not telling you this, you've done it yourself. You proved it yourself, talking to anyone who's involved with that. Don't worry, I'm not going to be freaky on you, but it's to do with Love Day. You wouldn't have done it if I said his name, bollocks. You wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for Love Day. And his side of the story, which he instills. Plus, I mean, loads of stuff comes to the surface of the reason why. I was thinking, why the fuck? That time, you know, when I gave him a bit of a clip there, I mean, because he was going, go, he was jabbing me there, right in the hallway there, and all I did was like a freaking little tummy jab to him. I didn't even do a card of clip that time. And then he's like, oh, and he fucked up. And then, but he was staying around for a bit, like, you know, he was fucking shouting and stuff. And then when he went. This is the reason why, like the week after when I went down there, they were like, "Oh, you beat Love Day up." Like I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, is that what you told people? I guess. You know what I mean? But like, it didn't do myself any favors there by saying hang about him. I beat him up. What do I mean? Because I didn't. he went down the stairs, walked normally down the stairs, in a drunken way, and then went down to Overdraft Bar down the road. I said, get home, man, get home to your wife and kids, you fucking stupid fuck, what are you doing? And he left something around here, actually, which I took round the next day. I didn't even touch it. I'm not going to say what it was, but I just took it round to show that I'm not cunt. Because he thought he might have lost that. But this will never, ever weigh up in his mind. Anyway, when he went down the fucking stairs there, he went down to Overdraft Bar. Because people saw him in there that day. Because when I said to her, I said, the fuck, how are you so messed up about after that fucking time in the hallway there? He goes, oh, I don't know. And then someone else told me that he went down to Overdraft. I don't know the side up there now. Went down to Overdraft Bar, was threatening the, got a pint, got threatening the bar staff with violence and violent language. Ended up getting thrown out, really fucking tossed out, literally into the road. Because I know someone by the name of DB, initials, who saw you, who will back this up. Get thrown into the road, piss his pants, and then walk home, and then knock on the door, and his wife answers, and he's like, help me, wife. And she's like, well, while she's taking his pants off and all that, and helping him, and washing him and stuff like that. He's given it the story that I did this to him. When all it was that there, and then when he went down to Overdraft, I don't know anything about this, but apparently he was fucking shit. He went in there and started kicking off with the bar manager and all that, and making his boomy voice. Got tossed out of the place, pissed his fucking pants, and I said, what? You fucking turned it pissed? Did you told your wife? But I don't know. As in, so they down there obviously thought that I did this to him. And this is what's fucking dodgy. I know that it sounds petty, but these things add up. And they certainly did add up enough for him to triangulate a mob which stuck up for him. His wife and his abused, not friends, the people that live next door to him, which he handles, he's the handler of them. As crazy as it sounds, just look at it simply. I can't believe people look up to this guy and fucking see his word as truth, because he's a fucking liar. It's unbelievable. And plus, the universe speaks through everyone, yeah? So don't worry. If you're older or younger, you can get wisdom off kids and be nourished by it. But if you think, I'm gonna keep my perception of reality, that's like going up to someone and saying, all right there, if I hang around with you, I'm just going to really slow you down, because I've just got my own way of thinking. Whatever your way of thinking is going to be shit, and I'm going to really slow you down because of the way I think. That's literally what Loveday said to me that day. Why didn't you tell me this in the first place then? Because I thought it was like a progressional thing that people would realise of how to get a better version of themselves each and every day. So when they wake up the next day, they're a better version of themselves than they were the day before. But Loveday's just not done that. That's not in his fucking script whatsoever. Well, it kind of is in a way, but it's inverted, yeah. So it's more sneakier, or better at being sneaky, better at being shit, better at being an annoyance. He just not refined anything. And then you got to realise that fucking this guy, he messes around with people who are trying to make it, basically, because he's kind of made it himself. Got kids, wife, whatever. Not a jealousy thing, but this is his position. So he thinks everything around him. And I've asked him about it. I said, everyone's around you just Play-Doh, isn't it? Because he just think about you. He goes, yeah, so I'm the best. I'm like, best of being what? Because he honestly thinks he's the best. And if he's not the best, obviously, evidently, with another person there who's much better than him, this person, Simon Loveday, will basically, how he sees it as being intelligent. He intelligenced them out by being annoying, but really being just fucking saying awful shit and being just really fucking up the whole night, the whole evening or day for this person, this other person who he thinks that is, who he knows that is much more intelligent than him. So he will just like make their lives, well, make their experience with him as painful as possible, so they will not ever come back into his life. And that's a bit like that. And this person, that's why this person is dangerous, psychopathic, because he just will do this. And he doesn't give a shit about anyone's historical vibe, no matter what they come from. He puts he will paint a picture over them and feed this to other people, though, which he did about me, and he's done it to so many people. I mean, the thing is, he does this to like people who back him up. And I'm not saying anything until, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say anything, but, like, I know for a fact, because it just gets he's just a wind-up. He says shit that, like, I just don't even want to mention to my friends, because I'm like, it's just weird, you know, and I'm sure he puts these as mind drops as, like, little things to fuck a person up. But, this person, loved that he got some, like, serious mad issues, man, and they're not, none of them are good. None of them will are fulfilling apart from his own shitty self, which is pretty fucking shit. Because, like I said, any creativity he will bombard with his disturbia and his distortion, and that's his thing. That's his core. And when you see that it doesn't even go beyond anything, and there's no healing from this. It's got worse. It's got so much worse. When he came back from France, I thought that he would be in a position where he'd understood what I was on about, not have to fucking come up to me and say, look, I'm sorry, Si, for doing that, because I don't want that. But, and not to fucking instantly counter. He's almost like following the same thing as I thought he was before. It's like, look at what you do, man. There's so much evidence here. I'm not looking at that. I'm not looking at that. Because of your commitment to not look at someone's pleas to look, you kind of made it more dramatic in a way. So this person's pleas became like cries. Then they were the drama queen. I'm talking about me and you, because all you needed to do was look at this in the first place. Because you didn't. You failed. And to crystallise that, there was the moment where I went down and smashed your door and got blood everywhere, made a right show of myself, put it online. Like, that was on the David Icke Gould community, yeah? Now, did anyone there kind of have it in their heads that this might be ticking over in the background when it got taken offline? I know love they didn't. But anyone else possibly may have thought that what they did that day in the summer was so horrific to me. It haunts me now. What happened wasn't actually not that bad, but it's just the after account of like how it built up to that, to do that, and what people think like and what people press onto people, as in like a certain reason. And there's no reason with this, because all I was doing at the end of the day was trying to get his attention to look in a way, because he was already involved with it. Imagine like you set off the two people working on the same thing, roughly. It'd be a bit like that, I guess. And then one person finds out something, and the other person goes, "Oh, I don't want to know that," and turns away. Isn't it going to drive the other person mad a little bit? If you don't see it, but then like here's on the line, they're on about like the shit that should have been known if they'd only known that in the first place. You know, you wouldn't be talking such at a shite and just wasting time. And when he talks, it's just like it is wasted. It's not talk. It's inertia and annoyance just cannot have a conversation with this guy. He's fucking. That's that how difficultly hard this is. Because he will always get people to work for him. He's going to be pushing stories into people's faces down there. I know that, like, this is why I've like separated myself like from a lot of people around him, because I know that they're going to be like fed so much shit. You only get one side of the story, and those people don't even want to see. I've never seen the side that I was on about this guy to see. So he's giving you his story, totally his story. But like the thing is, he leaves stuff out that it's like proper lying by omitting evidence, and that one, you know, was the thing there. And he went down to overdraft, got beaten up, pissed his pants, got thrown in the road, got beaten up properly, and then went home and said it was me. And then, you know, and that kind of like, in a way, it was like, oh, you deserved it type of thing. But like, and then he continued on it then. And that time in here, like when I had him like that, it's like after all night long of him going, bleh, bleh, bleh. I don't mind him doing that in his own house, but it's my house. I don't care what people were here, but people that were here will have to understand that is that I'm older than you and I've got my own place. When you have your own place, you will realise that you get your own place to fucking try and avoid this situation. I don't mind him doing it around his house, but this is the reason why I got pissed off with him, right? No matter what he will try and dress it up as, but that is the pure and simple reason, and he knew it. And plus, when it was all kicking off, he'd look around at me, when you were looking like that, he'd look around at me going, like that, you know, do a mad little smile. I fucking knowing fully well what he was doing. And you two will never, well, you never saw this, but you probably might never believe it, because cognitive dissonance is massive. Cognitive dissonance is so much of a problem. This is where the problem is, and it basically originates from this guy, I guess. You know, when I told him, he kind of like, he fully understood, and he understood that this might, because his limited mind, this personality type is very limited, but they think that they know everything, which is strange. And this is how the universe, or the evolution of mindset, trips the ones up who need tripping up. And this is where they kind of self-explode. I don't know what's going to happen, but like, so many things are going to be brought out. This guy he's like the master dodger, but he will just be not be able to dodge because he's already got. And he knows it, and he knows his time's ticking up, so he will actually go to the extremes and do that, and try and pull my hair out in his own garden. Assault me with his wife, with chemical, and try and pull my fucking hair out in his garden. Sorry to bring that up again, but it did happen, didn't it? If it happened to you, do you think you'd bring it up? Or just forget about it? Because I'm not forgetting about this. And for a very good reason. For which is not known yet by anyone. But when it is, it's fucking well known, and it's all good. This person, Loveday, down there, it was just every single action. It's always been like a drag, inertia. Even just to try and get something simple across him is a drag. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh my gosh. You just think these people are going to get better over time. They're going to refine themselves. But when I realised that he wasn't, and he told me, he said, I'm not going to change. I do not change my perception of reality. That means that you're going to stay the same then, yeah? You're stagnant. Maggots. And you're rotting. He literally said himself, I do not want to change my perception of reality. Not because it's good, not because he's reached the peak, just because. Now this gets me, like, if you want to hang out with this guy, he's just going to drag you back, because he's like in some archaic fantasy. which doesn't do anyone any favours really, because he paints people with his own picture, and they're fucking, because of the limitations of his mindset. He only thinks that those other people think up to those limits. He does not know anything. Doesn't even have a clue what's past that. And these people are limiting themselves, and they're becoming more and more shown, becoming more pronounced, within the society. These ways of thinking. When people said, about 10 years back, people's thoughts and how they think they're going to be shown, manifested. So people can't really trick people anymore. And I'm sure people can resonate with what I'm remembering back in the day of how this was going to unfold. And it's a bit like this. This person is so committed not to let anyone else's bigger picture not taint, but work with his own. He sees everything as tainting his perfect picture, that is the pure and simple narcissist behaviour. Not to let anything, even if it's good, even if they know it's really good, they will not let it come in, because they do not want to disturb their picture of how they see things. Now this is although it may seem superficial and a bit airy-fairy, these are the fundamental reasons why society is the way it is. And people will have to get to terms with these things. I wasn't too into pigeonholing stuff, but I do realise that it possibly is a good thing here, because if it wasn't for that, because they're so precise, they're so exactly the same. It's almost like a patent. It's just patented, because it ripples. It doesn't really personalise anymore. Then you're kind of attacking a demographic or a group of people who share the same mindset. For them to all look in a mutual kind of punishment in a way, just to kind of make it right. But I honestly have pushed these people to the point where they won't go. They will not understand. They will kill before it gets shown on them. Yeah. And that's what's been going on. Slow kill with me. Definitely. That means 3 years. Come on, love day. 3 years, mate. I went down to your house and fucking smashed your doors. Why couldn't you even fucking just look once? Because the funny thing is, everyone else was, and they're looking at you, and they're gauging the masses by your ignorance. Yeah. Funny enough, though, that's quite a good thing, because you're such an ignorant cunt anyway. They've overgauged it. So everything works out. You've actually helped out by doing what you've done, love day. That 3 years of just ghosting and shit, and fanning about, but not only that. One thing I wanted was some clarification that you understood, but you purposefully didn't, and you knew that wound me up, and you were trolling me, and you set off all other trollers. Didn't you realise how much effort I've done, and how much shit that you do? Nothing. But you just don't realise, do you? So there's not even point in saying that. And then if you just fucking sit there and you fucking see it with a big baggy spring, just forgive one's self-worth, you shitty cunt. And I'm not a violent person, but I do have to say this, if I do see him in the street, I have to warn him not to come near me, because I know what he's just thinking, and it's not good. Just stay away, will you? And stay away from my car, you fucking creepy, horrible, nasty fuck. What a fucking weakling, man. Oh man, it does rile me. Can anyone understand how much this pisses me off? That this guy's kept me in suspension just by not looking at something. Oh, I don't fuck down there. Bollocks to it. Any information, if it was anything, about anything, doesn't matter what it's about. If someone just purposefully ignores it, winding the other person up for time, and then just moves away, then realises at first it was a bit like, oh, I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to wind you up anyway. And it's like that. But then when you started realising, I was finding out more stuff, you realised that he was kind of in the wrong from his point of view, that, you know, to think that, you know, not do that. But so he's, instead of like writing it, he's carried on the wrong path. And has gone like uber fucking watch against what I'm doing. Totally fucking triangulating people against me. So we will get like 2 people I know, and it's so easy to see. The thing is, these people don't know these techniques. They don't know of the fact that they've been exposed, and by other people who can clearly see them as well. And this is the dangerous people in society. Not people like me, because I'm not dangerous. But people who think that their delusion goes so far beyond anyone else's comprehension. These people are like the Hitler psychos. Beyond, I mean, there's a bit like that in a way, because I mean, just to think that this is your own world and yours only, even though it's shared by one in the first place. They've neglected the universal truths, and so committed themselves to the other one. And that's what people will have to fucking realise. That this is what's happened, and it's become crystallised.